Welcome back everybody, and today we are going to do these pigment rose designs. You could do any pattern, doesn't have to be rose, but I thought we'll go springtime. So this is, I did put 2 layers of Snow White down by Naio nails, and I just didn't film the second coat, so I do 2 coats for these because obviously, as you've seen by the picture, we want to keep some white. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a perfect layer, it's just your first layer, so just kind of whack anything down really. Yep, so now we are going to get some striping tape, and what this is going to do is just create a nice smooth edge for me, so I don't have to really make sure I've got a straight hand when I'm painting. So it's very fiddly, that's why it's taken me a little while longer to do it. But I'm going slightly off center, so the side that you want to paint, you want to make sure that half is slightly bigger, because otherwise it'll be slightly smaller when you paint it. So once you're happy with the placement of the striping tape, you can then go in with your colour, but this time, because this nail, I think this nail is staying white, that I've put a base coat on, and then before you cure it, you just whip the, no, it's not a base coat, it's a matte top coat by Naio. And then you just whip off the striping tape before you cure it, and then cure it in the light. And then the same here for the diagonal. So that's probably where I wanted my diagonal to be, so I needed to go slightly higher. I've used a matte top coat because when we do the pigments, I don't want pigment to stick there, because I want it to stay a nice clean white. So that's why we're using the matte top coat, so that by the time I finish the pigment, it will just wipe off if any does go on there. So this is now going in with my colour. So this is much better to do, and you can see the colours. And then again, whip it off before you cure it, and then put it in the lamp. And then you go back in with a matte top coat once it's cured, because again, I don't want pigment to stick to that area of the nail. And what I did is I filmed these off camera, like the striping tape part, so now I'm just matte top coating all the coloured areas anywhere that I don't want pigment to stick. And now I'm going in with a base coat, and the reason being is because I find that my colour polishes don't have a tacky enough layer of, like, you know, that they have a tacky layer to them, but I don't feel it's sticky enough to really get sorry, these pigment powders to stick. So I literally just add a base coat, cure it, and then we'll go in with the pigments. So you can see all the different colour pigments I got. They're nothing special, they're just from Amazon, they're cosmetic grade, so they are perfectly safe to go on your skin, to go on, you know, to go as eyeshadows, tattoos, anything. Sorry, I've just got a really croaky voice today. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just placing it here, there, everywhere, nothing perfect. Don't really care too much about the blend. Yeah, don't care too much about the blend, just dabbing it here, there and everywhere. I think I did 2 nails like this where I didn't really care where any of the colours went. I just didn't want the same colour touching, you know, I always just wanted to make sure different colours were touching each other. And then I think on the other 2 I went for like an ombre style. I completely forgot to mention that the colour that I've used in this set is actually Meant to Be by Naio Nails. I completely forgot to mention it when I was waffling about everything else. I'm using a fanning brush now because in my brain I thought that it would have a better blend, but it does a bit, but you still really have to dab it down with your finger, which is what I'm doing there, to try and like get the colours to blend together a little bit more. That's it really, so I'll just leave you to that, and then I'll come back to you, and hopefully I'll be able to speak properly for the rest of the video. I seem to be like forgetting or muffling my words today. I'm not having a very good day doing my voiceover. And don't worry that I've got a little bit of murkiness there, because obviously I was using my nail to tap and the nail come loose, so I've just popped it there. So what I decided with this one is to do it the opposite way. So I started with yellow at the bottom of that nail, the previous one we just did. Now I'm starting it with that at the top. And it actually has hid my weird smudge on the nail, so you don't notice that it's there anymore. So now I've got my art gel. This is my Alexa Nails art gel. I absolutely love this stuff. And I'm just painting on the roses. So I hope that I'm able to show you well enough, because I kept going off camera, which was really annoying. So I think I've had to cut out quite a lot of it because of the amount of time I was off camera and it's not showing anything, so there's no point in it being in the video. But yeah, I just got really tiny amounts of art gel and did them in kind of like V type motions, and I just made sure that I got the edges really like pointy and crisp, and then you can go back in and thicken up the middle part of the nail later on. But yeah, I just tried to get them to look more like real roses. You probably don't, but this is how I do them anyway, and it's really quick. Doesn't have to be a huge thick layer either, guys, you know, just make sure it's not too thin, but yeah, it doesn't have to be extremely thick. I'll just leave you to that and just watch what I'm doing, and then I'll come back to you. So all I'm doing here is just filling in negative space with dots. And in a way I kind of wish I never did that. It just, to me, it just doesn't sit well with the set, but I've done it now, it's in there. So obviously with that now, I just did it with the art gel, but then later on I go in with some no wipe top coat and fill in the spaces with just some white dots. And then what will happen is when we erase all the pigment, it will obviously stay trapped underneath where you've put those dots. So, I mean, it's quite nice. Maybe we should experiment with a different design using top coat in a different video. Who knows? If you like that idea, just send me a comment and then I'll write it down, and then we can have a little play around and do something. Right, so what I'm going to do is fast forward all this now, because we understand how we do roses. It's all the same. I think I did the same pattern on the set, so obviously one lot I did roses going down the whole nail, and then the other one I just did a couple of roses exactly the same way, and then filled it in those spaces like I explained earlier. So I'm going to go and fast forward all this and leave you to watch, and then I'll be back with you on the next steps. I'd also like to just apologise a little bit for in such a huge delay in having this set put out. So my original idea was to really start up YouTube a bit like more regular, because I did the Disney nails, which are just quite basic and walk through. And I do enjoy doing these tutorials and stuff, but the thing is, I recorded this video ages ago. This should have been out, oh, I don't know, months ago. But it's just finding the time to do the voiceover, because obviously I've got quite a busy family and I have other things that I do. I don't just do nails. So for me it was just finding the time to do the voiceovers, because where I film in the daytime, or it might be 11 o'clock at night, I can't do them then because the kids' background noise and all this stuff. So yeah, it definitely does limit how much time I have to do things. But yeah, hopefully we can go back to once a week. I've got probably about another 3 videos that should have already been out by now that I will have scheduled coming out very quickly. And then, because I've got some really cool ideas, I haven't sat down and done nails in, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. So yeah, I need to get back on it. I've got loads of video ideas, so I need to get these videos out, put these out on my Instagram because I've got the pictures all lined up, saved, and then come back to it all. So this is brilliant. Oh, I'm taking off the pigment. Yep, that was it. That's what it's called. I just use acetone for this. Obviously don't rub it too hard because then you'll start taking off your art gel. But you can use cleanse as well. That works just as good. But acetone I find works a bit better. I did have to give it a good rub because I don't have any lint-free wipes. I ran out and I still haven't gone out and bought any more. So everyone else is reopened for business now, and there's me that's just there like, I can't be bothered just yet. Taking my time. I'm having, like I said, I've got other things, so. And of course it has to be all off camera, typical me. But it is just a bit of acetone on some kitchen roll, trying to get off the pigments. It does take a bit of time, actually. There's probably a better way of doing it, or maybe my base coat was just extra sticky. I don't know. Now for these I just felt that they needed something else, because they were nice being left white, but they did definitely just need something else there. So on these sets I've just gone back in with the Mint to Be and just given them the green line. And then because I did them, I was looking at the Mint to Be and I was just at the other green set, and I was just there like, that also needs a little something, because otherwise this set will just look so weird. This is my long striping brush. I love this brush. Oh my gosh, it's my life. Yeah. So I ended up using yellow. I think it's Buttercup, that colour. I'm not really a fan of the yellow. I was just there like, what other colour have I got in this set that I haven't got a lot of already, and I had a lot of blues and pinks and greens. So I went for the yellow, and it's just like, just like that. That's a bit like, nothing amazing, just it's alright, I suppose. And now I'm just going in with a glossy top coat and leaving our little section at the bottom matte. And the same here. Going over glossy on one side and leaving the other side nice and matte, and sealing it all in. So that's it, that's the whole set all finished and complete, half glossy, half matte. I just want to say thank you guys for all your support so far, it means a lot to me, and hopefully I can get these other videos out and we'll have more content. So see you later, and thank you for watching.